You know, there comes a moment in every man's life when he realizes the person who loved him the most, the one who never judged him, the one who saw the best in him, is no longer there to pick up the pieces. And for Elvis Presley, that person was Gladys Love Presley, his mother. Tonight, I'm going to share a story most folks never heard. A story about a letter, a private letter, Elvis wrote just weeks before Gladys passed away. A letter he never expected anyone else to read. Before we begin, if stories like this bring back memories, go ahead and like the video and subscribe. Now, let's go back to 1958. It was July in Memphis, humid, heavy, the kind of heat that sticks to a man's bones. Elvis had just returned from shooting King Creole. He was exhausted, not from the work, but from what he walked into when he got home. His mother, his anchor, his whole world, was sick, sicker than anyone had told him. Gladys had always been soft-spoken, cheerful, full of warmth. But now her voice was thin, her steps weak, her smile forced. "Elvis, honey, don't you worry about your mama," she whispered. "I'm just a little tired, that's all." But Elvis saw the truth. He always did. That night, after she went to sleep, he sat alone at the kitchen table in Graceland, hands shaking, heart pounding. That's when he pulled out a sheet of paper and began writing a letter. Not to the Colonel, not to a girl, not to a fan, not to his mother. "Mama," he wrote, "I don't know how to say this out loud, so I'm writing it. I'm scared. I feel like something's slipping away from me." Elvis wasn't scared of crowds, wasn't scared of fame, wasn't scared of the army that was planning to draft him. He was scared of losing her. "Mama, I'd trade every record I ever made just to keep you well. I'd give Graceland back tomorrow if it meant you could stay with me longer. You're the only person who knows the real Elvis, not the boy on the stage." He folded the letter and hid it in the drawer beside his bed. He planned to give it to her when she felt stronger, but she never did. On the night of August 10th, Elvis received a phone call that froze him in place. His father, Vernon, said only 4 words. "Elvis, you need to come." Elvis rushed to the hospital, only to see machines, tubes, and the pale face of the woman who once held him through every storm. She looked up at him and whispered, "Baby, don't cry. Mama's right here." But Elvis wasn't crying for the moment. He was crying for what he knew was coming. He couldn't give her the letter. He couldn't give her anything, except his hand. On the morning of August 14th, 1958, Gladys Presley passed away. The world didn't see Elvis at that funeral. Not really. They saw the suit, the sunglasses, the cameras, but they didn't see the boy inside the man. The little boy from Tupelo who slept in the same bed as his mother until he was a teenager. The boy who promised he'd take care of her forever. When Gladys died, something inside Elvis died with her. Something he never got back. And for weeks after, he barely slept, barely ate, barely spoke. Until the day Vernon found the letter. Elvis wasn't home. He was walking the grounds of Graceland alone, looking more like a ghost than a king. Vernon opened the drawer beside Elvis's bed, hoping to find a clean handkerchief. Instead, he found the folded letter. He read it quietly, slowly, and when he reached the last line, "Mama, you're the part of me I can't live without," Vernon set the letter down and wiped his eyes. That night, when Elvis returned, Vernon didn't say a word. He just handed him the letter Elvis never gave. Elvis held it to his chest, like a man holding the last piece of someone he'd loved more than life. Elvis kept that letter for the rest of his life, carried it with him on tours, stored it in his private drawer in Graceland, read it on nights when loneliness hit him hardest. Friends say it was the only thing that could make the king cry, because inside that letter was the real Elvis, the scared son, the lonely soul, the man who would have traded the whole world for one more day with his mother. When Elvis passed in 1977, that letter was still in his room, a reminder that even legends carry regrets too heavy for the spotlight.